that's kind of the two things I would say about that.
Yeah, and that's how I see it. I mean, I think I see my time at college as a big experiment. Like you should do as many things, as many seemingly random things to use. So once you look back, you can connect similar things.
Yeah.
So, I mean, this is an experiment I've done. I created this Twitter bot that basically tells you like where to find free food on campus.
Oh, nice. Yeah,
and that thing
that's
is
very
like
useful. Yeah,
exploded. It has more than 200,000 impressions, and everyone knows about it.
Very nice.
So it's just like some seemingly random things that you can only connect by looking backwards, and you can see, okay, you know, I like this thing about the talk show because of this aspect. I like this thing about this project because of this aspect. And then once you look back, everything just kind of makes sense.
Yeah, and big things start small, right? So there are a lot of stories of very successful companies and how they started. And many companies, Twitter, you mentioned Twitter. How did Twitter start? Twitter started when Jack Dorsey was creating an email list for his friends for events in the Bay Area. He was like, let me just create an email list. And pretty soon, like, it became like a social network-y kind of thing, right? Twitter was not intended to be a social network in the beginning. We all know, how Facebook started, from the movie The Social Network. Flickr, which I don't know if it exists anymore, but photo tagging software. Mm-hmm. Flickr actually started as a game, not as a photo tagging software.
Oh, really?
Yeah, it started as a game called Game Never Ending. That's what that particular team was doing. This was like when they were a small startup company. And then, they had these players playing the game, and then over time they found that players would share photographs and they would tag each other in the photographs. They're like, oh, that's a nice thing. Maybe we can just spin that off and do that side project on the side. And pretty soon that thing really blew up, and that became the main thing that they were doing, right? So Flickr also started as not a photo sharing thing. So you start from somewhere, but then you move based on both your interests, but also based on what works and what people ask for, right? So, but you have to start somewhere, right? You can't just say, oh, I'm going to strike it rich with my very first idea. No one is a soothsayer for the matter, right? So pretty much every startup company started from a point which is not the same as when they actually reach success. Those 2 points, if you ask them at different points, they're very, very different. So going back to what you were saying, I think it's important to experiment. It's important to do these things. Because, when you look back at it, you're like, okay, that was great. I learned a lot of things through that, and that's what is helping me now to do this, right? So